Imagine that every experience in your life, whether joyful or painful, carries a deeper meaning. What if I told you that in Buddhism, nothing is random? Stay with us and explore how this timeless wisdom reveals that everything unfolds for a reason. Join us on this path of insight and discover how understanding life's design can bring you inner peace. The law of impermanence, embracing constant change. Nothing in life stays the same. Seasons shift, emotions rise and fall, relationships evolve, and even our bodies transform. In Buddhism, this truth is known as anicca, impermanence. It's one of the most essential realities of life. We suffer when we resist it, clinging to joy or pushing away discomfort. But life flows continuously. Look at nature. A river never holds back. It moves effortlessly forward. A tree loses its leaves in autumn, not in despair, but in faith that spring will bring new life. We too can release what no longer serves us, trusting that change is part of growth. Embracing impermanence gives us freedom. It helps us savor the present without fear and face struggles, knowing they are only temporary. If everything is always shifting, then no painful moment is permanent. It's just part of a greater journey. Real peace isn't found in avoiding change, but in moving with it. When we let go of resistance and live with openness, we uncover a peace that doesn't depend on what happens outside of us. Cause and effect, karma in our daily lives. Nothing is random. Every thought, action, or word we offer into the world leaves a trace. That's karma, another core teaching of Buddhism. It's not about reward or punishment from some higher power. It's a natural law, like gravity. What we put out into the world eventually returns, sometimes subtly, sometimes clearly. When you throw a stone into a lake, the ripples spread out in every direction, gently reshaping the surface of the water. In the same way, our actions send ripples through our lives and the lives of others. Some consequences appear immediately, while others take months or years to unfold. But one thing remains true. Everything we do leaves an imprint. Karma isn't just about what we do, but also what we think and feel. A person filled with anger or bitterness may seem still on the outside, but that energy continues to influence their inner world and reality. In contrast, someone who nurtures compassion and patience creates peace wherever they go, regardless of external conditions. The quality of our life is shaped by the quality of our thoughts and actions. Often, we notice people doing wrong without facing any consequences, while good-hearted individuals struggle. It seems unfair. But Buddhism explains karma like planting seeds. Some grow fast, others take time. Just because we don't see results immediately doesn't mean there are none. Every thought and action sets something in motion. Karma also teaches responsibility. We tend to blame others or external situations for our pain, but when we pause and reflect, we can often see how our own choices led us here. This isn't about self-blame, it's about empowerment. If we created part of our suffering, we also have the power to transform it. There's an old Buddhist story. A student asked his teacher why some are born into hardship and others into ease. The teacher replied, "If you plant apple seeds, you get apples. If you plant thorns, you get thorns." Our present is shaped by countless past actions, and today's choices are the seeds of tomorrow. Karma is not fate. It doesn't mean we're trapped. On the contrary, it means we can always change. No matter our past, we can begin again, with more wisdom, more kindness. Karma operates through three main channels: thought, speech, and action. A hateful thought, left unchecked, can become a harmful word, and eventually a destructive act. But a thought rooted in love can blossom into healing words and compassionate behavior, bringing peace to ourselves and others. Mindfulness allows us to witness our karma in real time. When we observe ourselves without judgment, we see patterns. Maybe we react with anger and create conflict, but we can break that cycle. A calm, thoughtful response changes everything. Karma isn't just personal, it's collective too. Our choices ripple into our families, communities, and the world. By living with generosity and empathy, we help shape a more balanced world, not just for us, but for everyone. Intent is also vital. Helping someone to look good is different from helping out of genuine care. The action might appear the same, but the energy behind it isn't. This is why Buddhism places such importance on intention. It defines the true nature of karma. We've all accumulated patterns and stories over the years, but the past doesn't lock us in. Every moment offers a fresh start. Even if we've made mistakes, we can choose differently today. Begin small, speak gently, act honestly, help without expecting. These are not trivial, they are powerful. Just as a single drop makes ripples in still water, small positive actions shift the energy around us. Karma is a reminder that we are not helpless. We may not control everything, but we always control our response. Every decision, no matter how small, is a chance to grow into a deeper, more meaningful life. When we understand the law of cause and effect, we stop feeling like victims of life and start becoming its authors. And in that shift, we gain both peace and power. Accepting karma, seeing meaning in every experience. Imagine if every experience in your life, even the painful ones, wasn't random but purposeful. Accepting karma allows us to shift our perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we begin to ask, "What can I learn from this?" This change in mindset transforms every challenge into an opportunity for growth, every obstacle into a teacher. Buddhism teaches us that karma is not a system of punishment or reward. It is simply the natural unfolding of our choices. Like planting seeds, our thoughts and actions eventually bear fruit. When we live with this awareness, we act more wisely, intentionally creating a life filled with harmony, clarity, and peace. Attachment and suffering, learning to let go. The core of Buddhist teaching lies a powerful truth. Suffering arises from attachment. We cling to people, possessions, emotions, beliefs, hoping they will provide lasting happiness. But life, by nature, is impermanent. People change. Things break. Situations shift. When we anchor our happiness to the external, we inevitably feel pain when those things slip away. Attachment makes us believe that without this person, that job, or a specific outcome, we cannot be whole, but letting go doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we begin to love and live without gripping so tightly. It means showing up fully, in the present moment, without needing to guarantee the future. A love without attachment doesn't control, it trusts, accepts, and flows. When we release our grip, we discover a surprising freedom. We find that we can appreciate the beauty of the moment without the fear of its loss. True peace is born when we let go of what we cannot keep. Accepting impermanence doesn't diminish life, it deepens our experience of it. The wisdom of acceptance, flowing with life. Life rarely unfolds the way we imagined. We're taught to chase, to strive, to push through, but few of us are taught how to accept. In Buddhism, acceptance is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is not surrendering or giving up, but rather recognizing reality as it is, without the filters of expectation, judgment, or resistance. Most of our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from our refusal to let life be what it is. Something goes wrong, we resist. Someone disappoints us, we resist. Change arrives, we resist. But resistance builds tension. Acceptance, on the other hand, creates space. It allows us to respond rather than react, to meet life with calm instead of chaos. Buddhist teachings remind us that everything that happens is part of a larger web of causes and conditions. There's always a deeper story unfolding, even if we don't understand it in the moment. Consider the Zen parable of the farmer. His horse runs away. "What bad luck," say the neighbors, but the farmer simply replies, "Who knows if this is good or bad?" Later, the horse returns with more horses. Good fortune? Maybe. Then his son breaks his leg trying to tame one. Misfortune again. But then, when the army arrives to conscript young men, his injured son is spared. What seems unfortunate one day may prove to be a hidden blessing the next. Life teaches us this again and again. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. If something causes suffering and we can change it, we should. But when something is beyond our control, fighting it only deepens our distress. Wisdom lies in knowing the difference between what can be changed and what must be embraced. Cultivating acceptance, a practice for everyday life. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools to cultivate acceptance. When we meditate, we observe thoughts and emotions arise and dissolve without clinging to them. Over time, we realize that emotions are not permanent. They pass like clouds in the sky. This trains us to accept life's challenges with greater ease. One of the hardest aspects of acceptance is accepting others. We often want people to behave a certain way, to love us more, to think like us, to live up to our expectations. But each person walks their own path, with their own timing and lessons. When we stop trying to mold others and instead accept them with both their strengths and flaws, our relationships become lighter, more loving. Acceptance doesn't mean tolerating abuse or injustice. If someone treats us poorly, it's okay to set boundaries. But even in doing so, we can let go of the need for them to change and instead choose peace over resistance. We shift from trying to control reality to consciously choosing how we respond to it. And we must also learn to accept ourselves. Many of us are harsh with ourselves, criticizing every flaw, regretting past mistakes, wishing we were someone else. But self-acceptance is the root of healing. It doesn't mean giving up on growth. It means no longer waging war against yourself. From that foundation of compassion, real transformation begins. Life is ever-changing. We will lose things. We will fail. We will be disappointed. But we will also grow, love, and experience beauty. Peace doesn't come from avoiding the hard moments, but from embracing all of it with equal grace. Acceptance allows us to see the full spectrum of life without becoming overwhelmed by any one part of it. Everyday acceptance, a practical approach. Acceptance is a daily practice. It starts with the little things. Accepting the traffic jam without losing your temper. Accepting the rain even when you had plans. Accepting that others move at their own pace. These small acts of surrender strengthen our ability to handle life's bigger challenges. Over time, acceptance becomes more than a response. It becomes a way of being. A life lived in acceptance is not a passive life. It is a life of deep presence, emotional clarity, and inner strength. When we stop fighting what is and instead open ourselves to the wisdom of the moment, we find that life flows more gently. We carry less resistance, less fear, less heaviness, and in that lightness we discover something beautiful. Happiness was never in control, it was in connection. Peace was never in perfection, it was in presence. And joy was never somewhere else. It was always in the moment we chose to accept. True freedom lies not in mastering the world, but in learning to move with it. Acceptance grants us that freedom, letting us live with lightness, confidence, and peace. Hidden lessons, finding meaning in struggle. Life brings moments that seem senseless, loss, failure, illness, conflict, each a test of our spirit. Yet within every hardship lies a lesson, even if unseen at first. When life strays from our plans, we often resist anger or sorrow taking hold. But if we look deeper, even the darkest moments hold wisdom. Nothing is without meaning if we turn suffering into insight. Buddhism teaches that all things are connected. What appears as an obstacle may be a step toward growth. What pains us today could be preparing us for tomorrow. A story tells of a disciple who helped a struggling caterpillar escape its cocoon. The butterfly emerged but couldn't fly. Its wings needed the struggle to grow strong. So too do our trials forge the strength we need. Suffering, when met with openness, becomes a teacher. It asks us to look inward, to question, to evolve. Every challenge offers a choice, to remain in pain or to let it transform us. We don't always get what we want, but we often receive what we need. A lost relationship may teach independence. A failure may redirect our path. An illness may remind us to care for body and mind. Nothing is wasted if we're willing to learn. Time often reveals the purpose behind pain. What seemed a misfortune may later prove a gift. The key is not to dwell in despair, but to trust that all things unfold as they must. Buddhism invites us to see every experience as a chance to grow. Instead of cursing the storm, we ask, what is this teaching me? Patience, surrender, strength? The mind resists pain, seeking to avoid or dismiss it. But pain, faced with awareness, can refine us, like fire purifying gold, burning away what no longer serves. When something hurts, it points to what we must heal within. A harsh critique may reveal fragile self-worth. A deep loss may call us to release with love. Every difficult emotion illuminates a part of us seeking understanding. Accepting adversity isn't surrender, it's recognizing it as a guide. We can see obstacles as curses or catalysts. Our interpretation shapes our journey. Try this. Reflect on past hardships and what they taught you. You may find resilience, compassion, or wisdom born from those trials. Even the deepest pain holds purpose, when viewed through the lens of growth. When we trust that everything has meaning, we meet challenges with calm. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we ask, "What for?" This shift transforms suffering into a path of evolution. Life's lessons aren't always gentle, but they are always valuable. Each experience prepares us for what lies ahead. When we embrace challenges as opportunities, fear fades, and we step forward with courage. No moment is accidental. Every difficulty is a door to new understanding. The practice of presence. The mind wanders to past regrets, future worries, rarely resting in the now. Buddhism teaches mindfulness, anchoring in the present, living with full awareness. When trapped in memories, we relive old pain. When fixated on the future, we spin imaginary fears. But the present is the only real moment, the only space where life unfolds. Mindfulness isn't just meditation, it's a way of being. To eat mindfully is to savor each bite. To listen fully is to hear without planning a reply. To walk mindfully is to feel each step, the earth beneath, the air around. Yet so often we're distracted, physically in one place, mentally elsewhere. This disconnection robs us of joy. The mind is like a restless monkey, leaping from thought to thought. Meditation trains it to settle. Start simply, focus on the breath. When thoughts stray, gently return. Mindfulness isn't about silencing the mind, but observing without attachment. Imagine thoughts as passing clouds. You need neither chase nor cling to them. With practice, we see how much suffering stems from dwelling on past or future. Presence brings peace independent of circumstance. It also grants space to respond rather than react. Anger, fear, or frustration may arise, but mindfulness lets us choose our answer. Happiness isn't a future prize, it's found in the present. We miss it chasing distant goals, overlooking the beauty in small moments. Mindfulness reveals the extraordinary in the ordinary, a sip of tea, a bird's song, a shared smile. It doesn't erase problems but helps us face them without spiraling. Begin small, wake with conscious breath, listen deeply, eat with gratitude. Over time, presence becomes a habit, transforming how we live. Mindfulness isn't abstract, it's a tool for peace amid chaos. It reminds us, life isn't elsewhere, it's here now. And in the now, happiness isn't pursued, it's experienced. Transforming the mind. Our mind can be our greatest ally or our fiercest foe. Suffering stems not from events, but from how we perceive them. Through meditation and self-awareness, we learn to pause before reacting, to see thoughts without being ruled by them. This isn't about denying pain, but understanding it. Every emotion, fear, grief, doubt, holds a lesson. When we stop identifying with these waves, we find stillness beneath. Enlightenment isn't a far-off goal, but a way of living, awake, aware, unattached to passing storms. By releasing negative thoughts and nurturing inner peace, we reshape our reality. Thank you for joining us on this path of Buddhist wisdom. May it bring clarity, growth, and a deeper peace within. Subscribe to the School of Buddha and stay tuned for the new videos every week. Until then, stay strong, stay calm.